These 100 cover letters were all made in a matter of minutes. I didn't edit a single word, and I didn't even open a Word document. All I did was paste in the job description and boom. Just sit back and relax and have your cover letters go brr. And if you want to do the same, then stick around. So you're looking for a new job and you're saving and applying to all the job listings on LinkedIn and Indeed, and you have a list of about 30 jobs that could fit your skills and experience. And if you're anything like me, you'll want to make custom tailored cover letters to each of the job postings to increase the odds of you getting a response back. But that entire process is really time consuming. You'll spend roughly 20 to 30 minutes coming up with a solid cover letter, and most of the time you probably won't even get a reply back because the job will already have been filled, or you maybe just aren't the correct candidate they're looking to fill the role. So now you've wasted 20 to 30 minutes times 20 to 30 jobs, or over 10 hours of focused writing and productivity, which you could have been doing something else with, all trying to write an essay to secure a future that probably won't pan out. But the catch is, you had to write all those cover letters to get an opportunity in the first place. What if I told you that I developed a system that you can use right now that will spit out amazingly, perfectly crafted cover letters that's tailored with your experience and written in your style, customized for each job description in minutes? Well, if I said no, then you just click off this video. But I can, so let's get into it. This method requires a few things in order for it to work. All you're going to need is one cover letter that you consider to be a strong general version of yourself and your writing style. It can be something you wrote for another company. It just needs to be written in the same style and tone of your voice. You're also going to need a cover letter style like the one I have here. I'll explain this more later in the video. And then of course, we're going to be using your favorite tool, ChatGPT. But in order for this to work, you are going to need to be on the premium plan, which this is the only downside. But honestly, in my opinion, it's completely worth the $20. It's honestly saved me so much time when I was applying to jobs. And so for this method to work, we're going to be taking advantage of those new premium features. That is custom instructions and code interpreter. Custom instructions allows you to provide some general context and information about your situation to help give the AI better responses that are more tailored to your prompt. When we open the custom instructions menu, we're met with two boxes. The first box allows us to give some additional context about ourselves, like our name, our job, some hobbies we might have, a scan of our eyeballs, a 3D render of our cock. And just by putting in some basic info about yourself, we can already get much more tailored responses that sound way better than if we were to cram all of this information into our prompt. The next box allows us to tell ChatGPT what custom style to give our responses in. This one is quite straightforward. For instance, if I put in, talk to me like you're a sarcastic 5-year-old, it'll spit out a generation accordingly. Or if I wanted everything to be over elaborated, because I have a brain the size of the sun, we can do just that too. The next feature we're going to be using is Code Interpreter. This feature has given us the cute little plus icon right next to the chatbot. And with this, we can upload any file that we want. Well, not anything, but we can add coding files and documents. And we can even add multiple documents, which we're definitely going to be using. This means ChatGPT can now read and understand those documents. It can use those as reference to give better responses when it's answering your questions. And now that we know the tools, let's get into some cover letters, shall we? For this trick to work, we're going to head over to the custom instructions. And in the first input, we're going to give some context information about everything we want to be mentioned in our cover letters. And for this, your resume is a great place to start. If you want, you can just paste in your resume while making some tweaks to it. We basically want to fit as much information as possible about yourself, but keep it within that 1,500 character limit. Talk about things like your jobs with very specific descriptions, maybe some relevant hobbies or passions that you might have. You can make this as descriptive as you want, but just know that your cover letters will be determined by the quality of this input. So try to add as much relevant information as possible. In the next box, we're going to put in a custom special instruction that will print us cover letters faster than Thanos can snap away half the universe. And you can read these instructions, but it's basically going to do exactly what it says. It's going to create a cover letter based off some structure and styles that we give it, and then it's also going to give us a special link to where we can download that new cover file. This is what's going to allow us to just be able to download the cover letter and not make any adjustments at all. The last thing that I want to mention before I test this out, make sure your example cover letter is super general and doesn't talk about anything specifically like numbers or really detailed experiences that you might have. Also, your style sheet can be any style you'd like, but I found that using two different files, one for your styles and one for your cover letter, letter actually makes it easier for the AI to generate consistent looking cover letters. Because sometimes it might put your address in like a line format, and other times it might leave it all at the header, like how mine are structured. You can input your styles into the same file if you want, but like I said, I've gotten better results just keeping them separate. And also I'll have a link to where you can get a copy of my style sheet as well as my example cover letter down in the description below if you want to follow along and do exactly what I'm doing. So let's give this a spin. I recently graduated from hotel school, so I have lots of experience around operations and hotel management. Let's say I want to apply as a manager to one of these hospitality roles. It would be a pain in the ass to make a bunch of different cover letters over and over again with slightly different modifications, tweaking it to fit the job description that's outlined in the job posting. So let's use our new cover letter maker. My custom instructions context is basically a summary of my resume, and the instructions for the prompt are just as I mentioned before. I'll also have a copy of those in the description below. Now let's go on Indeed and find a job posting, and we'll take the job title and the job description and we'll put that into ChatGPT 4 code interpreter. And then don't forget to add the cover letter and the style sheet that we talked about before. After a minute or so, it'll read the style and the cover letter and give us a brand new cover letter with a link to where we can download the document. You can see it writes it in a similar style to how I gave it in the styles prompt, as well as it tailors the cover letter exactly to the job description. And honestly, this is pretty good. It's definitely passable if I were to submit it just as it is. You have to admit, this is pretty cool. So now I'm forcing you to leave a like and subscribe for more AI and automation content like this. This helps my videos get shown to more and more people, which allows me to create better and better content, giving you more tips and tricks on how to make the most out of these AI tools. But anyway, let's test out some more. So we'll head back over to Indeed and pick out a new job description. I'm gonna go with this assistant general manager position here for Holiday Inn Express. Once again, I'll probably apply for this and not get the job, but it's worth a shot. So we'll copy the role here and go into ChatGPT and we'll paste it, and we'll go back into Indeed and we'll copy the entire description, and then we'll paste it right into ChatGPT. Then we'll come down here to add a file, and then we'll add the cover letter style as well as the DoorDash cover letter, and then we'll click on enter. Then after about a minute or so, it will give us a download file link, which we can then click on and then save our new cover letter. And then if we open it up, we get another great example cover letter to use for our job application. For this one, I'd go ahead and I would maybe move this to the center as well as this text. And then I would also add a couple more lines here. There we go. We have a pretty solid cover letter already formatted, looking pretty nice, that you can send out with any of your job applications. I just wanted to mention though, if you're not getting that good of a response, you can play around with the custom instructions in this chat box. And also you can try to edit some of the instructions here to make it a little bit more tailored to what you want. This is just the instructions that I've been using that I've found work best for me, but you can definitely tweak it if you want it to work exactly the way you want. And what I do want to mention is that for the most part, these cover letters are actually pretty good, but you're definitely going to want to edit and change and tweak a few things just to give it a little bit more of a human and natural feel. I keep finding that ChatGPT and other AI chatbots are really good for getting about 80 to 90% of the way there, and the last 20 to 10% is really where you can add your human touch and impact to really get the most out of AI systems. And with an extra 1 or 2 minutes of editing, you can turn this great template, already customized cover letter into something truly personalized and natural that you can submit with any job application. And all it really took you was a couple minutes pasting the job description and adding in your documents. So no more sitting there banging your head on the wall, struggling to write cover letters just for no one to read them. Now you know how to make cover letters like a printing machine. But if you're applying to online jobs right now, it's also a great idea to have an online portfolio to show examples of all your work and have your resume. This is a great way to stand out when you're going through the job application process. And you can check out this video here where I show you 5 great AI automation websites that will make a portfolio for you in seconds without having to know how to code at all. So I'll see you guys over there.